Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm really excited to present to you guys today and talk all about community. I am Moni Jefferson. I am the CEO and founder of AMC Agency, and I am thrilled to be talking about why you need community and how to build your own. So I want you guys to participate with me. I want you to tell me, are you currently part of a community? And it can be any community. It doesn't just have to be business themed. It could be any type of community. Maybe you're a stay-at-home parent. Maybe you're a book club fanatic. Maybe you're a movie fanatic. I want you to tell me, are you currently part of a community? And then I want you to tell me, do you feel like that they align with your norms, values, and interests? I really love to hear feedback on this because usually we are attracted to organizations and people that are similar to what our beliefs are. And then tell me what attracted you to the community. Was it a positive quote that you read? Was it the people that maybe look like you? Was it a leader that you admired? Was it maybe the program's branding? Tell me exactly what attracted you to that community. I really love to see a lot of this in the chat because it really helps you understand the social cycle we're going to be talking about here shortly. So, a good friend of mine quoted this a few months ago to me, and I just fell in love with it. And I knew when I was putting this presentation together, I said, well, I know this goes here. This quote, it says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I really believe that this is something that a lot of communities do because they understand that they cannot grow alone. And it is an African proverb I'm really excited to share with you guys. So this is inspiring. All right, so you're in the right place if you want to build a like, know, and trust factor with others, get in front of your ideal client, and create a support system. And while my primary focus will be on building businesses based around community, you can apply a lot of these concepts and tactics and ideas with any type of community that you're building. It doesn't necessarily have to be about business. So I'm excited, you guys. Thank you for joining me today. I am going to share a little bit more about who I am and how I kind of got here so that you can understand why building community means so much to me. So I am a multi-venture entrepreneur. I have scaled and raised capital for multiple organizations and businesses. I am an impact community builder, which is something I'm really proud of and that I just kind of fell into in starting these businesses. And I'm a technology enthusiast. I have raised capital and built technology in the App Store as well as our new program at AMC. And I'm a minority business leader. I really do think it's important for people to see people of color leading and building community as well. So I'm going to share a little bit more about my background and how I kind of got to where I am. I am a 20-year military spouse. I've been married for 23 years to Roy. I'm really excited for him and the future that we have. We have 3 children. I was a stay-at-home mom for 12 years. And then when my youngest was going back to school, I decided to start looking for work. And, as we all know, military spouse life and the gappy resume and curious questions as to why, I wasn't able to stay in one location to work for a long time. I decided to start my own business, and I was really excited to jump in and start my own business, but I found that what I was missing were other people that were like me. And that's why building community has just become part of who I am. I could not have scaled multiple businesses and worked with some really great organizations if it had not been for community. So 7 years ago, I started the Mill Spouse Creative and Entrepreneur Group, which really helped me understand and navigate military spouse business. I created the group out of a need because I knew that there had to be other people like me out there who had questions about entrepreneurship. and that were doing this whole entrepreneurship thing. And I really wanted to know who they were, how I could do what they were doing, and how I could support other people who wanted to do something similar. So this I wanted to share with you guys because I'm really proud of these numbers and I'm proud of the work that I've done with my community in this space. So I've had over 275 sponsorships for multiple businesses. I've had over 820 partnerships, which I'm extremely proud of. One of our pillars at AMC is collaboration. I've had 522 media mentions. This is going back, guys. It's going back to when I first started the MilSpouse Creative, launching multiple apps, launching the communities. So I'm really excited to share all this because I wouldn't have been able to do any of this if it wasn't for community. I truly believe in the power of the military spouse community. It really can help catapult anything that you're doing, any idea that you have, and it can provide a place of comfort and security amongst other people that are like you. All right, so why do we need community? Can you guys tell me in the chat why you think we need community? You know, my personal feeling is we need community because I like to see people who are doing things that I would like to do in my space. And I want to show other people that it can be done. I also always want to make sure that I can support others in different ways. So I'm excited to hear from you guys why we need community in the chat. So if you guys can share that with me, I'd love to hear that. I'd love to read it in the chat. All right, so I'm going to just dive right into the actual definition of community. It is a group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common. And for everything that I've done, as far as community building, the one thing that we've had in common is that we've wanted to build economic stability for our families, create financial freedom for our families, and build a business that we can take anywhere we want to go and work in our field of work. So all of those things is something that all of my communities I have in common with those spouses in those communities. And identity. Identity is truly the heart of a community. And if you go back to some of your answers a moment ago, you'll see a lot of them can be put into these 3 bullets: your beliefs, expressions, and actions. Building these 2 global communities, the MilSpouse Creative and Entrepreneurs, and the Military Spouse, or AMC, which is the Association of Military Spouse Entrepreneurs, they kind of go hand in hand, right? The MilSpouse Creative was an idea that I had so that I could find other spouses like me who were struggling and building businesses and didn't have the resources or the mentorship or the know-how, and we're just scared. Is this something that I can do as my spouse is an active duty member? Because a lot of times what we find is the spouses were waiting till their member retired to start a business. But we want to show spouses that you can do it while they have a business, or anything that you want to do while they have a business. AMC is just a step up when we're teaching fundamentals of how to really create a foundation for your business, not just making money, but doing it the smart way with the right strategies and the right tactics and the right community. I ran across this and I just thought to myself, wow, this really explains community in 3 different steps, because we all go through these steps when we join any community. And it can even be a community. I'm part of a skincare group. I buy a certain skincare and they have a community, and I'm part of that community because I identify, I participate, and it validates what I want from them. So this is a really cool social identity cycle. When you are creating a thriving, healthy community, you have to do it through a social identity that makes people want to join, participate, and become invested in your community. So these are all things that you have to think about when you're doing this. And so we're going to jump right into identification. So these people who believe in your community, they identify with the community and is attracted to the social identity of the group. This is so important because I think that people, and I know that people, because I'm one of those people, I like to see other people that look like me. I like to see other people who are doing what I would like to aspire to do. I like to see other people who are actually living in it from day to day and doing what I'm doing. And I like to see other people who need the help to get to where we want to be. When someone decides to join a new community, they decide that some aspect of their personal identity aligns with the collective identity of that community. Over time, the members' identity will start to reflect in the community's identity as they become more engaged. The goal of the community builder is to create a strong community, identify community identity that appeals to new members. Over time, it can become part of the member's personal identity. One example I want to share with you is um, somebody who's an environmentalist and identifies with a Reddit community is focused on an environmental topic. As the member grows as a member in the community, they then launch a subreddit focused on something else within that environmental group and becomes a mentor in that sector. So it's really important that people identify with what they're doing. And I always tell people this all the time. Listen, don't worry about the numbers. Don't worry about how many people are part of your group. Don't worry about how many people you're reaching, how many people show up. If just one person shows up, it is so important because that one person actually believes in what you're doing. And so it's really great to collaboratively work with that one person in whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's a cooking community, it's a social wellness support group, whatever it is, you are building community and those people see themselves in you as their leader. So it's important to think of that when you're building the community. And we're going to jump into the second part, which is the participation. This is so important because, like I said a minute ago, a lot of times people will join, but they might not participate in what you're doing. So take some time to sort of action. They take some sort of action to participate in the community experience. And the way that I think is the smartest way for anybody to do that is to put the ball in their court. While you may be the community leader and the person who has started the community, it is created for other people. So you can't have a community without participation, my friends. Members must take action and move the community forward. Participation doesn't mean they have to create content. Consuming is a form of participation. As a member becomes more engaged, they'll take actions that require more effort. And I like to do this by offering different things and having prompts, calls to action, and giving them information, also asking them what they would like to see in the community. And I always say this too inside the MilSpouse Creative. I started this group, but you guys have led this group. You guys have told me whether when I put something out, if it didn't work, you've let me know, hey, it doesn't work. How do I know it doesn't work? Because there was no participation, there was no comments, there were no questions, there were no emails. And so I let the community kind of lead by creating an action call or action item, and then they come back and they participate. And it's really important if you have a community that's not participating, you have to ask them, what do you need? What do you want this group to be? Because eventually it's about the community and their needs, not just your needs. And validation. Participation is rewarded, making them feel good about the participation and strengthening their sense of shared identity. And I really like this because I think some people think of validation as like they don't have to do it, like the group is good enough, but that's not true. Validation is the last stage of the cycle for a reason. It is the final step and it is crucial. It is critical to reward people. Rewards release dopamine, telling our brain that it was a good experience and making us want to participate again because what we said was of value, what we said was encouraged, what we said was acknowledged, and people participated. In behavioral economics, rewards exist in two norms. Extrinsic rewards, the exchange and transactional following of market norms like money or gifts. It could be a gift card. It could be, we've done gift cards. I love gift cards. Our gift card threads always do the best. Gift cards. Intrinsic rewards, the exchange provides rewards following social norms like respect, sense of belonging, and reputation. And that happens a lot in our community, the communities that I've built, because I always encourage the spouses, like, share your expertise. When you do that, people understand what you do, they acknowledge it, then they turn around and they hire the spouse to do some work for them. So I really love that. Ideally, a community will provide both of these, extrinsic and intrinsic, and rewards in different ways at different times. If someone is only participating for the eccentric reward, they're not helping to develop the actual fabric of the community because they're only there for themselves. And it takes away from why you're rewarding to begin with. So it's just really good to keep that in mind, as you're building community. These three aspects are so important. And I want you to ask yourself, if you are a community builder, if you're currently building a community, are you doing these? Are you providing a space to do all these things? And then number two, if you are in a community, do you feel validated in the community? And if you don't, ask yourself why, and maybe you don't need to be part of that community. So I'm going to jump in now that we understand the social aspect of why community matters and how to do it and the whole cycle. I want to talk about some ways on how to build your own community. And these are just ways that I have found to be the most beneficial and supportive of our community, of the way that I build communities. So, number one, just be real. You guys, just be real. Oh my gosh, just be real. I'm not saying that everything you post on social media or that you talk about is always going to be positive or is always going to be beautifully filtered or perfect, but just be a real person. People really want to see that. They want you to share your life with them. People are dying for connection. They want to feel like they're part of the journey. And I feel like when you are real, people gravitate towards that. And I think that that's what's really special about the MilSpouse Creative and AMC, is that they see us being real. I share my own problems that I'm having in there. If I have issues with a certain technology, or I need help, or I need support, or I need a mental health day, I am sharing those things. And I think that being real, as simple as it seems, people really just want to be connected in that way. Number two, show up for others. A lot of times, and I have seen this, and I saw this in the early stages of building my first community, which was the MilSpouse Creative. I saw this a lot where people would start groups for themselves to sell things. And then people would join the groups to sell their stuff to those people that joined the group to somebody who's trying to sell something to them. And that just drove me crazy. And I said, I don't want to do that. I mean, I could do that, but I don't do that. I think that organically supporting each other, giving back to people, introducing people to other networks or organizations that could support them, and giving of your time is important. People will see that when you show up for others. And number three, build a safe space. It is so important that you, as a community leader or community builder, lead by example, that you set expectations and you welcome their feedback to any changes. If you're a part of the MilSpouse Creative, every month I go live, and in there I always say, if you have an idea, if you have some feedback, I want to hear from you. Do you have something that you'd like to add to the community? Email me. Do you have an idea? Email me. Do you not like something? Email me. You have to create a safe space where people feel like they are seen and heard. Because at the end of the day, I really believe that those that are building communities and those that join the communities, they just want to be seen and they want to be heard. So, haven't built a community yet, or not joined a community yet? I want to know from you guys, what's holding you back? Is it any of this stuff on this board? Think about it. Is it mindset? If it's mindset about starting a community and feeling like you're going to fail, or it's too late, or people won't believe in what I'm doing, or I won't have the support, I want you to change your mindset. Think of it in a positive way. Start with affirmations. If you look behind me, that entire wall is full of affirmations. And I spin this chair around every day and I read a couple of them. Build a support circle. Ask those around you, like, hey, I'm thinking of starting this group for this book club. Would you guys be interested in joining my community based on that? And see what they say, get their buy in. Start journaling to change that mindset. What is it that you're scared of? And just do it. Just go for it. You never know. If it fails, you can start another group. Imposter syndrome is another big one. Everyone has to start from somewhere. You know the slide I showed earlier with all of those big numbers on it? I didn't have those when I started building community. I have them now because I've built the community and I kept going. But everybody has to start from somewhere. Everybody has to start from zero, friends. Everybody starts from 0 followers, 0 likes, 0 comments, 0 members. You can do it too. And lastly, you are good enough. So I want you to let's start building community together. I want you to join me in my journey of building community and offering you support. You can join me at AMC. We are a digital membership, free membership for military spouse business owners. And you can join us there whether you have an idea, whether you have an MLM, whether you are scaling your business. We are here to help you. We offer mentorship, chapters, community, group coaching, co-working, blueprints, curriculum. I would love to have you guys join my community because I want to figure out a way to support you the way that you support other people. And lastly, I want you to post any questions you have here, and my team and I will be happy to answer them. If you'd love to follow up, please follow us at LinkedIn or email us at hello@amcagency.com. And of course, we would always love some love on any of our social media platforms. In closing, I just want to encourage you that no matter where you are and what stage of life as a military spouse you're in, that there is community out there for you. And if you don't find one that makes you happy, you build one, even if there's one that's similar. But community is something that you should embrace no matter where you are as a military spouse, because military spouse living is hard, y'all. And we got to do it together, right? Thank you so much for having me today. I'm really excited about your journey on building community. And if you ever need anything, please feel free to reach out to me and connect. Have a great day.